timer's going down. It's not clickbait. Don't be mean to anyone. All right. Just to start. All right. We got 3 minutes. I'll explain. It's not clickbait. It'd be really messed up if that was clickbait. It's not. Just be patient. I'm gonna wait for more people to arrive so I don't have to explain things twice. Hello. I'm sorry if I sound a bit tired today. I haven't slept in 30 hours. Took a long time to think about things, and I have a lot to say. It's not clickbait, unfortunately. Before I start speaking, do not harass pointcrow. I'm going to be sharing my perspective on some things that we're going to be talking about. I don't want anyone to send anything bad towards pointcrow. I don't think he has any bad intentions. I don't think that he has any ill intent, but there's some things that I need to clear up, and so I'm going to clear them up today. It's not going to be a long stream because I am exhausted. Um, sorry, one sec. It's hard to stay good on no sleep. Over the last 7 months or so, my friendship with pointcrow has pretty much it's gone from being, perfectly fine to being non-existent. I'm being serious, chat. And over the last 7 months, he has had 4 separate streams where he has sort of publicly addressed it on how he's feeling. And over those 4 separate streams, he's talked for about 45 minutes in total about how he's feeling and what's gone wrong. And I spent some time. I took those 45 minutes and I cut it down a lot. I cut out all of the filler words, all of the repeated sentences, squashed it all down into 10.5 minutes of basically what pointcrow has shared. And again, before I start speaking, I want to reiterate, do not harass pointcrow. The only reason why I am doing this is because it was, some things were said publicly that I need to clear up. So I'm just going to start with this, and then I'll give you guys some context and explain sort of the situation, because it'll be a little bit confusing if you're not caught up with the situation. But just make sure everyone, be nice. Did my headphones die? Okay, one sec. You guys can't hear this. Chrome. This one. Can you guys hear this?
Who pointcrow even is? He looks like.
So this was on February 20th. You can see the date right here. This was on February 20th, 2022. Was this section of his stream?
I got pinged in a Discord. Someone says, I don't know who pointcrow even is. He looks like SmallAnt from Walmart. Someone else says, oh, no, he's actually better than SmallAnt. I'm like, that's also toxic. Shut the fuck up. You know how hurtful that is? That's like one of the reasons I don't do things with SmallAnt anymore. His chat and the way he portrays me is just not great. Connor, I think CDogVA was like seeing me in Mario Kart, and people were like, oh, he's like, oh, who's pointcrow? People in his chat were like, oh, he does like all Breath of the Wild stuff, he's like speedrunner or whatever, right? And then a wave of like, oh, he's SmallAnt, but he loses every time. He's like SmallAnt, but like, he's worse. To take something like that, reduce me to like, oh, he's like just a worse version of someone else, is just so incredibly mean. Like, I've never gotten more hate for doing a collaboration with somebody else ever, except for collab with that guy. And I regret it. I'll be real. A while ago on the yard, like Slime was like, oh, Aatrox was here for like this thing that has to do with SmallAnt. My thing. It's my thing. People are starting to call the map randomizer, the Pokemon map randomizer, SmallAnt's map randomizer. It's mine. I'm the one who made it. Like, I'm the one who commissioned it for my developers. We have similar content, but I don't want to have to do anything with him. Like, I don't want to be in the same sentence. I don't want to be in any tournaments. If this gets to Panda Global in any way, like, one of the reasons I don't want to work with Panda Global, I don't want to like sign a contract with Panda, is because he's in it. Because I told him, I was like, I didn't like the way he was portraying me on the internet.
Listen to this next line very carefully.
He made me out to be a liar and a cheater. I want to stop living in this weird shadow. There's a whole bunch of us, like other stuff that I don't want to make public. I don't want any hate. I think he makes good content. I make good content. Like, at the end of the day, that's all it is. Sorry about that, chat. All right, let's continue.
All right, so that was the stream one. And again, what he said, he makes good content. This is ultimately, both of our livelihoods. I don't want to hurt him by sharing my perspective. I don't want anyone to unsubscribe from him. I don't want anything like that. But yeah, he's going through a lot. But I'm gonna talk about this if you guys don't know some context. I'm gonna go to understand where this is coming from. I'm gonna jump back to the very first time we've talked to kind of give you guys a baseline of what our friendship looked like. Um, this is the first conversation we ever had. Um, we were talking about YouTube analytics. He just wanted to know, he was getting into YouTube. Um, yeah, no, the cheating and the liar stuff we'll get into, but I can understand where he's coming from. Like being compared to someone constantly is awful. I get it. I'm gonna just focus on this a little bit though. I don't want to get too off track. But our first conversation on Discord, our first big conversation, I think there was like a message or two before this, but it wasn't really relevant, was talking about YouTube analytics. We talked about YouTube analytics, and we called for 2 hours. We just talked about random YouTube stuff and what works, what didn't, and this was in 2019. This was in 2019, and so we kind of over the course of the next few years got basically our friendship was just built around YouTube. And we talked like every single, maybe not every day, but like pretty much every conversation was related to YouTube or thumbnails or click-through rate. And this is literally 2019 and you're sharing private DMs. Yeah, it's not anything that's terrible. It's like I made sure that it's nothing bad. I never portray pointcrow in a bad light here. I'm just gonna put it on emote only mode. We'll turn it on emote only later. So you guys, I'm not like muting you. It's just so I don't get distracted. So yeah, and over the course of the next few years, we ended up talking a lot. Most of our conversations were around YouTube thumbnails and stuff. So like I helped him out with YouTube thumbnails. He would ask me about analytics stuff. Occasionally I'd ask him about certain things, like he did some sponsorships. I'd ask him about that. But the friendship was basically just all like kind of YouTube content, and like I'd help him out with thumbnails. A lot actually. There's a lot of thumbnails. I think there's a little over. He has 168 videos on his channel, and it's scripts as well. Basically, scripts, reviewing stuff, and basically every one of these thumbnails has a whole conversation behind it. Not everyone. Some of them I'm just like, yeah, that looks good. Yeah, it looks bad. Change this, change that. But most of them have like a conversation behind them because we're talking to each other. We're trying to figure out what the best thing is. And it's all good. I think over the course of the last few years, I think I've helped him with 20% of these titles in some part, 20% with all of his stuff on his channel. And he's helped me out with the like sponsorship stuff. I ask him about like a lot of finances stuff. He's really good with that. And really more knowledgeable than me, so I asked him occasionally. But that's getting sidetracked. So off stream we were like YouTube analytics buddies, and then on stream over the as we kind of sort of got into a similar sphere. He started with Breath of the Wild. I kind of started getting into Breath of the Wild. We had a rivalry, and we would start to do collaborations. And mostly competitions and stuff, and we had like sort of an agreement where it's like it's a rivalry, whatever people say, but that's obviously gotten to a point where that's too much, and I think that's fair. But at the time, it was all good. We were competing. We were, what's the best word? dunking on each other with every opportunity. Oh, pointcrow's better. No, SmallAnt's better, right? I mean, you guys, if you've been here for long enough, you'll know. When the rivalry was kind of in full swing, we're always getting little digs at each other. Anyways, but eventually that rivalry kind of it got to a breaking point last year, and the thing that did it was the race that we did. In April of 2021, he told me that he was working on a Pokemon mod where all the loading zones are randomized, similar to how I was doing it in Super Mario Odyssey at the time, because I had a Super Mario Odyssey map randomizer, and he was inspired, so he commissioned @sign, the person that makes all of my Pokemon mods, or almost all of them, to do it. And I was like, oh, that could be interesting. And then 5 months later, I think he mentioned something on stream, and so I messaged him back, hey, you still interested in racing? Because he said he thought it'd be fun to race. And so this is where this is the thing that caused it all, is right here. I want to race Pokemon. Yeah, we got to set rules, and this is the one rule that's relevant. And I'm going to read it word for word here. This is the exact message he sent me. Save states are only allowed to prevent soft locks, not as a cheeky teleport. Save state often, and only reload when you're actually soft locked. In that video I just showed you guys, he said, and I said to pay attention to it, but I'll remind you. He said he made me out to be a liar and a cheater. And as we go on, he'll continue to repeat this: liar, cheater, liar, cheater. This is the one event that he is talking about, that I make him out to be a liar and a cheater. So we're gonna watch this video right here.
Ooh.
I have the timestamp. It is some guy thought he could beat me in a Pokemon race when we raced his Pokemon map randomizer. And so this is where I make him out to be a liar and a cheater.
Something I forgot to mention was that there was an additional rule pointcrow added where you're only allowed to reset if you're completely stuck in an area and there is no way to get out, or if you're trying to catch a legendary Pokemon. The thing is, I noticed while editing that he didn't really follow that rule and was just resetting in random places. Not sure what that was about, but it's kind of funny to watch.
I can't go down. The only way we can go is Devon Corporation. Okay, so Evergrande, if we ever get to Evergrande, it is a soft lock.
I swear to God, if Eric resets on stuff like this, I'm gonna be a little mad. Because this isn't a soft lock.
That's a soft lock. Okay, yeah, that's a yikes.
I'm gonna get to level 100 before my Pokemon faints. You have to white out and lose like 2 minutes.
Like, that's a full soft lock. Okay.
Bro. Oh my lord, that was so painful. Okay. Curse.
Almost
Curse.
done. Almost done.
Curse. Curse. Yes. Desert Ruins. There's got to be 2 areas that lead there, right? This is extreme pain. This is torture. So I keep getting stuck in this hole where there's only level 20 Zubats, right? It's not a soft lock because you can technically white out.
Yeah.
But my Pokemon are too strong to be taken out by Zubat, so I'm stuck here for 5 minutes every time I get in here.
That's such a soft lock.
I know, it's like I can't reset because it's not a soft lock. It's extreme suffering.
Oh, I just found a soft lock.
I'm sure you did.
No, I actually did. oh god. Okay, yeah, good luck with it.
This is so painful, bro. I have takedown, but I have rock head. Oh my god, we're at 7 HP. Bro, kill me.
Almost at the end of the section.
Yes! Yes! I'm dead! I'm gonna scream. No. These are even weaker Zubats. No.
Oh, this is the same place you can white out on Zubats there? Oh, okay, so we actually need to...
And there we go. He figured it out. And that's the whole thing. That is where I make him out to be a liar and a cheater. His words. I think I included that in the video because, I thought the contrast between, him resetting and me not was funny. And I made sure to include that him figuring it out to show that, you know, he didn't mean to. I think it was obvious miscommunication in the video. And, you know, right after the race, this is before the video came out. You know, after the race, I'm like, hey, thanks for the race. It was super fun. You know, he asked me to wait 2 weeks for the video, so I do that. And then, you know, I message him later that day, and I'm like, I was struggling for 30 minutes, and you just reset. You know, I was just kind of like, you know, like that. And then, you know, the tone was light. And I said, you know, it's no big deal. We just had different definitions of soft lock, right? It's obvious from watching the video that was the case. You know, we just had a different idea. And so there was that. Then I think he uploaded his video, and I think when did I upload my video? I think it was on the 30th, maybe. It wasn't this date yet. So this is October 25th, about a month after. I think we had either just done a second race, or we were about to do a second race, and he said, you know, hey, can we tone down the banter a bit? Can we tone down the banter a bit? You know, it's getting too bad. People are getting toxic. You know, it's fine between us. You know, people are taking a public rivalry too seriously. I said, for sure, thanks for telling me. So I toned down the banter, like he said. And basically from then on, I never really like dunked on him on stream. You know, if someone came into stream and was like, hey, you know, SmallAnt better, or pointcrow better, I shut that down instead of kind of just like, oh, really? You know, I didn't really go with it. I kind of just shut it down instead after that. Because, yeah, that's the banter. And so then the video came out, and he messaged me again and said, you know, I had to delete a wave of cautious comments calling me a cheater. And looking at the comments when the video came out, there was a lot that was saying he was a cheater. It was way more than I expected. But yeah, the comments when the video first came out were really bad. And you know, he ends up commenting on the video, and he said, like, you know, awesome video. You know, just wondering we weren't clear about the soft locks. You know, when we're going over the rules, sometimes you miss things. So I hearted his comment, and I told him, you know, hopefully make it to the top. You know, it's just so it makes it more obvious. It's a simple miscommunication. You know, people love the idea, and, you know, the video is doing well. And he said it's a pretty sick idea. And, you know, we had the earlier when the one time he actually said something about the rivalry actually before this was when we did that 19-hour stream. We raced to edit a video and release it first. And chat got really bad during that. And at the end of it, he was like, we can't do this again. We can't do something like this again. And I was like, you know what? Fair enough. That was a lot. Chat got pretty bad on his side. And so he's just saying, you know, I'm feeling that again with this video. And, you know, I don't think we can do competitive, or wait, I don't think we can collab too much anymore. And so I'm like, you know what? That's fair. You know, people are mean. I'm like, could we like team up then? Like, if we work together, is that okay? And he's like, yeah, it's mostly competition. And I'm like, okay, great. We'll have people root for us, working together instead of pitting us against each other. And that's what I said. But the next day, he kind of messaged me. Call you in a bit. And the call lasted 12 minutes. It was basically, the call consisted of him being like, you know, the hearted comment, it's not making it to the top. People aren't seeing it. People are still saying that I'm a cheater. People that I cheated in the run, and that, you know, I deserve to lose. And so we called, and I'm like, I can't remember whose idea it was, but we ended up deciding on a community post. I sent it to him. You know, I made a big community post just to be like, hey, you know, pointcrow's a good friend of mine at the time. You know, got a friendly rivalry going on. Don't be toxic. Don't be mean. Also, I edited the pinned comment to say the soft lock thing was a miscommunication. So, you know, the pinned comment on the video, I made a community post too. You know, I did what I could to mitigate that without just straight up taking down the video. Because I asked him, and I think he did say that, no, you don't have to take down the video. I am fairly sure I asked him that. I can't remember. He could probably clarify. But yeah, then nothing really happened for a little bit. I think it was maybe for 2 weeks or so. A few things happened in those 2 weeks. Eric and I appeared on Atriox Game Show. There was an NRG CLG charity stream. I did Super Mario Odyssey multiplayer for the first time. On the exact day that I did Super Mario Odyssey multiplayer, he announced a $10,000 Breath of the Wild bounty for Breath of the Wild multiplayer. And so I messaged him, and he said that my multiplayer was kind of the catalyst for him to do that. He'd been thinking about it for a while. But then, about 14 days after this happened, a community post and, people being awful to him, calling him a cheater and stuff, and because of that video. He messaged me again, and he said, yo, I don't know if I got my point across, we need this rivalry to end. I told you to stop the public rivalry before, and you're still doing it. I feel awful too when your recent video paints me in a bad light after we discussed it. It was a stupid miscommunication, and you're blaming it on the Pokemon community. I think I did say that, right here. I say, I think what it is the Pokemon comments. They're always worse on my channel, and they are. I don't read comments on my Pokemon videos anymore. It's that bad. Any Pokemon video, the comments are just awful, especially with the fucking Ludluck ones. Oh my god, it's so bad. It's so bad. But yeah. But yeah, so I blamed it on the Pokemon community. And I thought, that's probably what was making it so much worse this time. It was maybe half right. I don't really know. It's hard to say. It was definitely the comments were bad. They were not good. But yeah, he just wanted to clarify, hey, stop the rivalry. Because, in my head, I was like, stop the banter. But he wanted the rivalry to stop. And the thing this was kind of not out of nowhere, because what this, I believe, was kind of, this message came from was that day, about a minute or two before, some context. A few months earlier, prior to this, pointcrow tweeted, if this tweet gets 5,000 likes, if this tweet gets 5,000 likes, I'll stop tweeting forever. And so he kept tweeting. And so I screenshotted it. And every time he'd tweet, I just reply with that and a little message. And I think that day, the message was a little aggressive. He said, I think he was saying that he wished to do something or wish something. And then my message was I wish you'd stop tweeting. And then I post the image. And then under that, I clarified, I was we're just friends, we're friends. I'm not being serious here. I replied to my own tweet. And so I thought that's what kind of caused it. But no, he said it's not the whole tweet. It's a rivalry as a whole. It's not you responding out to all these 5K tweets. And I was like, I didn't realize that the jokes crossed the line. I'll cut out everything together. I think he goes on to say for a little bit, you're not getting it. No. It's you. You're causing this. That's what he shares. It's you causing this. And then there's it's a big block, but the gist of it is, he's saying that I'm causing this. And I kind of respond, I'm not sure what else I can do. Because I haven't said anything remotely negative since we had the call. And I didn't say anything remotely negative about him. I did my best. I cut down the banter. I continued the tweets because I didn't think it was a big deal. But then he gives me a list of things that I've done, and I'm going to address some of those things. There was one time where you had a full conversation on your stream that I wasn't a real speedrunner. So let's go down to here. This was on October 11th, so this was 2 weeks before he had ever said to cut down on banter. Just to contextualize. I kind of out of the blue messaged him. I was like, random question. Would you consider yourself a speedrunner? And, I asked him, and he's like, challenges and mods. I'm just asking if he's a speedrunner, And I think I was on stream because someone came into my chat and was like, pointcrow's a better speedrunner than you. And, we still had the rivalry at this point. Nothing had really been said about banter. I don't remember what I said exactly. It was, quite a while ago. It was one random conversation. from what I remember, I was saying something like, he's not a speedrunner. He does like modded content and other content, because I was scrolling through his channel. He does modded content. He does that. He's not just a speedrunner. I'm not sure if that's exactly how the conversation went down. Like I said, he didn't say anything about banter yet, so it could have just been dunking on him, saying he wasn't a real speedrunner, which is fair enough. I don't remember the conversation exactly, but he hadn't said anything about it yet, so there's really no way to know. The next thing, he said, outbidding me on Atrioc stream for the sake of outbidding me. He said, the things you do, but how you act. So we're going to go to Atrioc stream now, where Atrioc had a game show where he basically did a parody of like Shark Tank. And I'm just going to show you guys the intro to that.
Company. Each judge has been given $500 from Discord to invest in any idea they see fit today. At the end of the show, we will this time hold a poll with all chat members on who invested the best. If you enjoy Stream Sharks or want to support the
Anyways, that's the gist. We got some money. We got a competition to see who could invest the best. And so that's what I did. I was really competitive. I don't like losing. I was competitive, and I outbid him. For the sake of outbidding him, yes, because it was a competition. I did do that. That was the whole point. So I don't know. That was weird. He said, replying to all my tweets with a 5K tweet well after the joke was old. From my perspective, this is the first time he'd ever said anything. Like I had no idea that this was a big deal for him. This is the first time he had brought it up. The reason why I was so surprised, because he actually encouraged it. This is quite a few months before, just to be clear. That's not the title, Oliver. Refresh. Sorry, I changed the title. Did I not? Yeah, I changed the title. It's not that anymore. Sorry, one of the muds saw something wrong. Okay, I was scared for a moment because the first title I didn't phrase well. I didn't start with that. It was before stream. I hadn't started stream yet. Sorry. Anyways, but yeah, he kind of did his own thing with this one. Where if this tweet gets 5K likes, Dad said he'd come back from the coal mines. And so yeah, he kind of was parodying me replying to his tweets, and fourth time this month. And this was the one this is why I was confused. It's difficult, but it's a burden I must bear for the greater good. And it's a screenshot of his tweet. If this tweet gets 5K likes, I'll stop tweeting forever. And this was, just 2 months before, he said that it was an issue. And, he also did one where he faked a tweet from me. Kind of just a meme on it a little bit. But, it's a difficult burden I must bear. So I had no idea that it was an issue up until this point. And the next one out of the 4 points that he gives me of the stuff that I'm doing at his expense was donating to Cheese during the charity stream so that I would lose the race. Probably not a lot of people are aware, but two esports orgs, CLG and Energy, had some speedrunners signed. And they did a crowd control race. What a crowd control race is, you can donate to modify the streamer's games. And so basically they had two sides, an Energy side and a CLG side. And they were competing. And I watched this live. I came in about halfway, and Linkus was losing by like a lot. And so, I know Linkus. Linkus is really cool. Little Curbs is cool too, but I just know Link is better. and I decided I'm gonna donate. And the way it works is you donate some amount of money, you get coins to redeem, and then you can use those coins to modify the games. I donated too much, and so Linkus won, and I still had a hell of a lot of coins. And so, I got Linkus to win, and the next race just so happened to be Cheese versus pointcrow, where they did a crowd control race. And I've met Cheese in person, and for full transparency, I have actually met pointcrow in person briefly, but that's completely unrelated. But I've met Cheese in person. He's great. I was already donating to CLG for them to win, and so I just continued that. And Cheese ended up winning the Celeste race over pointcrow. I didn't donate so pointcrow would lose. I donated so CLG would win. Cheese would win. It wasn't my intention to just deliberately antagonize pointcrow. So there's that. That's those are the examples that he's come up with, that he came up with when I initially asked. Yeah. So those are the 4 examples that he could come up with. And again, the cheese thing, the people donating wasn't even I think the only people that could even see it were the runners. So it wasn't even contributing to any public rivalry at all. No one was even like I think I went into Cheese's chat and be like, I'll help. I think that's all I said once. It's like, I'll help you win. I didn't go into pointcrow's chat and be like, you're gonna lose. I went into Cheese's chat and said, you're gonna win. But that's that. After this conversation, it didn't really end super well. I think the next day I noticed I was removed from the VIP role from his server, and I just asked, hey, and he's clarified, I just need more separation between us and our audiences. So it's a small thing. So it's just the special secret channels in the server that all the friends are a part of. Which is fair. And then we didn't talk a lot. He did a blindfolded video. I said it was cool. I think I asked about his elephant toothpaste video, which was sick. And then about a month later, I decided to do a map randomizer, an emerald map randomizer with A-Drive. And I didn't give him credit at all. And this is 100% my fault. I'm 100% in fault here. Where I did the stream, did the video, and the video went up, and I think for the first couple hours or so, it didn't have any credit. I'll explain why in a second though, but it is my fault ultimately. But yeah, I asked him what he wanted, and what had happened was it was dumb. Not like this. That's right. @sign, I commission @sign for a lot of stuff. Instead of me going to pointcrow server and downloading it, @sign actually just gave it to me directly, so I just didn't have to go pick it up. But that meant I also didn't see that he wanted this, so he sent me this, and I was like, I'm sorry about that. I'll try and make sure to remember in the future. I made a command in chat because he told me this about 5 minutes before my stream that day, which happened to be a Pokemon map randomizer. I made the command, and I forgot to put it in the title. And so right after the stream, he calls me, and he's like, what the fuck, man? And I'm like, I am so sorry. I forgot to put it in the title. I swear I made a command. I took a screenshot of my chat. Again, we called for an hour. That was the start of the thing. He's like, you got to be better. Just be better. That's the gist of it. I was like, we talked about, you know, those 4 things, and I kind of just rehashed what I said with you guys with you know, those 4 things that he brought up. He kind of said those things again. I don't think he said anything else about it, but it was a really unproductive conversation. We really weren't seeing eye to eye. But at the end of it all, I was like, what actionable thing can I do to help? And he said, you know, just be better. And I'm going to be honest, I didn't know what the hell that meant. I don't know what be better is. I mean, other than, like, obviously giving him credit when I can. That was just like a stupid mistake on my part. I just, you know, got distracted, started a race. So I called Abby, his manager, I think that day. And we talked, and with the pointcrow stuff, I was like, what do I do? What can I do? Because, like, is there anything actionable that you can give me? And, you know, the conversation basically was just like, just give him, you know, obviously give him credit for the map randomizer. And I was like, you know, that's fair. You know, it was an honest mistake, that one. And eventually, you know, the conversation was, you know, he's, you know, let him be. Just leave him be. And, you know, he'll kind of, you know, figure things out. Like, I don't want to misspeak, but essentially it was leave him be is the what Abby said to me, and I was like, okay, sure, you know what, I can do that. You know, I just, you know, I've cut down the banter. You know, I'll be sure to be on this this credit for the map randomizer stuff, and, you know, nothing can really go wrong. You know, I wish him a Merry Christmas, or he wishes me a Merry Christmas. I wish him a happy birthday. You know, December, January, February, I invite him to Super Mario Odyssey Tag, because, you know, I thought it was like a collaborative thing. It's more casual fun. You know, it'd be better than competing. He declined, but I mean, it felt pretty tense at that point. We really didn't see eye to eye. It wasn't like arguing, but it was just like it was a tense conversation. And then 2 months after that, is when that clip happened. The that video. Did I accidentally close it? Oh, god damn it. 1 second. So that video that I showed you earlier is 2 months after that is when he was talking about the Breath of the Wild stuff. Or when he was talking in the Breath of the Wild, and you know, he said those things. 1 sec, I just need to open up that video again. Okay, let's just bring that back. Okay, and yeah, I didn't really have any interactions with pointcrow after that. You know, I saw him say those things. You know, I call him a liar, a cheater. People are starting to give me credit for the map randomizer and credit for other things. And honestly, that sucks. That has got to feel absolutely awful. Like with the chemistry stream, you know, a person mixed me up, and like the whole thing with the Mario Kart and people calling him like just a worse version of me. That's shitty. That's awful. Don't do that. That's not something that should be happening to anybody. But yeah, after that, I didn't really interact with him at all, because, you know, I followed Abby. What Abby said, you know, I'll leave him be. Hopefully things will get better. And about a month later, I am looking at Discord, and I think his Discord isn't in my Discord list. I was like, oh, I accidentally left. So I think I went to his Twitter for like links or something, or his Twitch, and I found that I'm blocked on Twitter, I'm banned on his Twitch, I'm banned from his Discord, and I'm blocked on his Discord. So there's literally no way I can talk to him at this point. There's just nothing I can do. And so I'm in this is just in one of the chats. I just had the exact date that I noticed it. I don't know when it happened, but that's when I noticed. And so I messaged Abby again. I was like, what the heck? Like, did I do anything? Like, Eric blocked me on everything. Like, what happened? And, you know, Abby is just like, I told you, like, you just need some space. You know, leave him be. And so I'm like, okay. All right, you know, that's his prerogative. You know, maybe he was just sick of seeing my face or something. I don't know. Which is fair. I can only look at it for so long, too. But then April rolls around, and some context. April 1st. By this point, I think we have a big shared audience. I think this is really well known. And you know, people convinced him to play Subnautica, and you guys convinced me to play Subnautica, and it just so happened that we played it around the same time. And so this is when the second clip comes up.
Sorry about that, chat. All right, let's continue.
So this is
Freeman,
on April
that
1st, which is, you know, we haven't had any interactions other than, I mean, he blocked me on every platform, and this is 2 months later. 2 months? 3 months? 2 months. 1.5? I don't know. 1.5 months.
Recently streamed Subnautica by the name of SmallAnt. I literally do not give a shit. He doesn't own Subnautica. I'm going to play it myself. I've been planning on playing this for a while.
Fair.
Don't make this toxic at all. Part of me didn't even want to play this.
Again, just to reiterate, you know, this stream, do not harass pointcrow. Do not say anything bad. Don't go and be like shitty to him. Just to clarify, don't do that. Just to be sure everyone's on the same page.
Because I saw him playing it a couple weeks ago, because I knew I'd get a lot of comments of like, pointcrow, you're copying him. Pointcrow, you're doing this. I speak out about it a bunch. He doesn't at all.
I don't at all. I mean, you guys know why I didn't at all. That's probably more obvious now. I was told not to. At least that's how I interpreted it.
Which is extremely frustrating. It's shitty that I have to deal with that. But you know what?
It is.
That's on me. Well, it's actually not on me at all. He's not about to change that. If
You're right. I wasn't about to change that because I was leaving him be.
you're gonna be toxic, just don't do it here. Just go somewhere else.
So that was that. And you know, again with the Abby thing, she just said, you know, leave him be, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna leave him be. You know, this was like 10. I don't know. It was like 2 weeks later, a week later after I had talked to Abby, so I was like, okay, fair. That's fine. Within the next 5 days, I uploaded my first Subnautica video, and he did another Subnautica stream. So that's the context for this next one.
I'd like to get like a little bit serious. It makes it really, really hard to play any game if I am constantly being told that I am a copycat, I am a cheater, liar, basically a...
There's the cheater liar thing again. That is from that one video where we just had a miscommunication. Anyways.
worse version of somebody else.
But anyways, yeah, no one should get called that. Worst version of someone else. He shouldn't have to worry about that.
It's something that I deal with constantly. And I didn't really want to talk about this again after last stream, but it seems like it's just getting worse. Ignoring the problem, trying to separate myself from this is just making it get worse.
He says ignoring the problem is making it get worse. And, you know, I see this. I get sent this. And I'm like, okay, what's making it get worse? You know, clearly this isn't working. I should probably talk to him because, you know, this isn't working.
I have to not only think about, hey, what's good content, but now I have to tailor it to what am I going to not get hate for randomly. SmallAnt has decided to play Subnautica a little bit before, like a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
I was thinking about making a video, but now because he's made a video about it, a lot of his audience have come over. You're only playing it because you're copying him. You're trying to put out content like his, but lesser. The thing about it is that I've told him this multiple times, and that he's the problem. He's the one that fosters this. He's been ignoring this for a while, and
Again, I was ignoring it because I was told to. I just want to clarify.
he's specifically done things in the past that have enabled this. We're no longer
I think it was those 4 examples.
friends. There's a lot more that I could go into. I will not, because we've tried to settle this privately. He knows this is happening, and he's just not going to do anything about it. And so I've like asked him to, and every now and then he will. It goes to something like Hollow Knight. I've seen H-Rock.
Okay, this part I was really confused about. Look at this date. This is April 6th, 2022. This was just a month ago or so. But let's listen to what he says.
So I've like asked him to, and every now and then he will. It goes to something like Hollow Knight. I've seen H-Rock playing Hollow Knight. I wanted to play Hollow Knight because I was like, oh, this seems cool. And I get no hate for playing Hollow Knight at all, whatsoever. Then
No hate for playing Hollow Knight after Atrioc.
he plays Hollow Knight. And I'm like, oh, hell yeah. He sees me play Hollow Knight, and I'm like,
He's
that's
referring to me.
interaction. It's cool. Or he sees H-Rock playing Hollow Knight or whatever, and he wants to play himself. Because I think, like,
Yeah, I think
RT
it was
Game played
everybody.
it too, so it was, I put out
think
my
I-
video. I start streaming, and he puts out his video and starts streaming after I do. I start immediately getting hate for being copycat of him. And he does, once again, nothing about it. So this is something...
And again, I do nothing about it because that's, again, what I was told to do. So, I mean, you know, from my perspective, me seeing this, I'm very frustrated because, you know, I'm doing exactly what I thought was right, and he is, you know, getting more frustrated. I think there must have been like a miscommunication somewhere along the way, but
I want to play this game, and I want to like it, and I don't want to have to worry about what other streamers are doing. It's
shouldn't have
been
to worry
happening
about
for
that.
years now. I'm starting to get burnt out mentally. I just want to make sure that, like, please, if you see somebody saying that, be very nice. Be like, hey, man, a little bit uncool to assume that of somebody. Here's actually the case of, you know, streamers can just play other games. You know, there's similar content. You're in the same things. Please set a good example. Do not go over to his channel, his chat. Do not go over to his videos and say mean things. Do not.
so there's that. That was number 2. And so, a few things I want to say about this. Because the Hollow Knight stuff was really weird. I was really confused about that, and I wanna explain why.
After I do, I start a video.
This was on April 6th, 2022.
Hate for being copycat.
And
of
let's listen to
him.
what he says.
And he does, once again,
He does, once again,
nothing about it.
nothing about it. We played Hollow Knight in June 26th of 2021. And I scrolled through his comments, and he has a bunch of negative ones for Atrioc stuff. I couldn't find a single negative one about us. I imagine he deleted them if there were a lot. And that's totally fine. You know, that's just he is totally, if he sees negative comments, delete them. But yeah, I uploaded my video 3 days after his, which is exactly what he said. But a year before this, before the rivalry was any issues, so I was really confused why I brought this up. And he also said, you know, he got a ton of hate and it was terrible and SmallAnt did nothing. So here's every message that pointcrow sent me for the next 2 days after I uploaded my video. Thought you'd be interested. He sent me some Twitch analytics. I helped him out with the calculator Nintendo Switch thumbnail. We talked for like the rest of the evening. It wasn't a call. We were just typing a bunch. The next day he watched my video and said it's a hilarious edit. You know, fastest 45 minutes of my life. Yours is pretty good too. So I'm just really confused about that because he never indicated that he was experiencing anything at all. And bringing that up in stream, like, how am I supposed to know he's upset if he says it's hilarious, it's a funny edit? It happened a year ago, and I don't understand. And I just want to get to kind of a further point as well. Something else he said to me is that he's never really experienced negativity from anyone else's audiences, like from my audience. And I'm gonna kind of run through why I think that is. First off, he has had some negativity from other audiences. These were heavily inspired by Doug. The videos actually open up with the line, "With the help of my friend Doug." They open up with that line. That is the first thing that they say. And scrolling through the comments seems like it'd be a Doug video. Doug 2, stop doing Doug's content. They edited though. Never mind. They're all good. Damn, didn't know Doug was popular enough to have copycat YouTubers. Doug's version is better. There was a whole like semi-viral tweet of people just being absolutely fucking awful. This is why I hate Twitter, by the way. This sucks. This is stupid. I just want to get rid of this person. Don't just shit on people for no reason. But there's like copy Doug soft content, Doug's actually funny, inventive, semi-official Doug ripoff, not as entertaining, right? Like, and all of this stuff happened, you know,
all this stuff has happened. And again, earlier on in content, he made a similar video to Ludwig. He did a Wikipedia race. Scrolling through that video, Ludwig, you could have credited Ludwig for the idea, copying Ludwig. Wait a second, this isn't Ludwig. Ludwig copies Ludwig title style, stolen from Ludwig. Give it Ludwig Atrix stands credits. Awful. It sucks. I'm not. It's the worst. And he's not alone with this, right? Like every content creator has this, and I experienced this when I was growing. I got this a lot. I managed my comments a hell of a lot when I was smaller, like under 100K. I read every single comment and filtered them perfectly. So there aren't many remaining, but I have a few comments where someone already did this. I didn't claim to be the first, whatever. Shout out to Game Champ, because I was doing a lot of Game Champ challenges in Super Mario Odyssey when I started. Champ Ant, Discount Fearsome Fire, SmallAnt is the new Helix Snake. And this is the one that I got a lot. Discount Fearsome Fire. I got that one a ton when I was growing, because I did a lot of Fearsome Fire content. Some days I would be like, you know what? I'm gonna open up Fearsome Fire's channel, see what I haven't done, and try it out because it looks fun. We had similar interests, so I mean, that was fair. But also we had a rivalry. He'd go and say SmallAnt sucks. I'll beat him at any percent on Twitter and stuff, right? It was probably more toxic than the rivalry Eric and I had. I don't have any ill will towards Fearsome Fire, though. I don't think he has any ill will towards me. We had an understanding, and I think we were smaller creators, so it didn't really get to the level that pointcrow is experiencing now. But speaking of that, when I initially was getting into Breath of the Wild content, I experienced that too, a lot. I got that a lot. And I scrolled through a few of my Breath of the Wild videos and picked out some comments. Not pointcrow. Pointcrow did this. That was a pointcrow video copied from pointcrow. This is actually kind of funny. This is the this is actually the same person commenting on two separate videos. It's not the same comment. Anyways, but yeah, pointcrow did this challenge, but legitimately, pointcrow did the same thing. Pointcrow did it first. Pointcrow's shield only challenge. It goes for a while. I'm just gonna scroll for a bit. There's a lot. And, I'm not doing this to garner sympathy. I just want you guys to know it happens to fucking everybody. It happened to me the opposite direction. And I mean, if it's happening to me this much, I'm double his size. So it's probably happening twice as much to him. He sees twice as much of this. Sorry, I need to keep scrolling a little bit. Yeah. Twice as much. Which, I mean, after seeing that for a really long time, that hurts the mental, man, right? Awful. It's terrible. But yeah, anyways. So yeah, after seeing that, let's get a refresher. Subnautica, he was saying, doing nothing is not working. And so, I see that, and I'm like, okay, I need to contact him. So I message one of his mods, and I'm like, hey, could you get him to unblock me so I can talk to him? And they say, sure, I'll see what I can do. And he unblocks me. He unblocks me on Discord, so I'm able to message him. I'm able to talk to him. And so I say, hey, appreciate you're willing to talk. Is there any time you're free for a call? And he says, yo, I won't be free until the subathon is over, so I can call after that. And I was like, okay, sounds good. When is it starting? The 10th, which is 3 days later. I'm like, okay, talk to you in a month, because, I mean, we all know how long subathons go for. And that was it. We didn't really interact at all. Until May 25th, yesterday, when, and this is the bulk of what I'm talking about today, because I need to clear up a lot of stuff. I don't think he said, just a preface, I don't think he said any of this, to deliberately spread misinformation. But I think he was misinformed. I think a lot of people were just misinformed in the situation, and I'm just going to clear some stuff up.
So this is something I have to live with.
But I don't think he's ever deliberately, done this.
I want to play this game, and I want to like it, and I don't want to have to worry about...
Anyways, we're going to jump forwards to the... We've seen this already.
but
Let
this
me just
was
get
yesterday.
this out of the way before we start. But there's like a huge like elephant in the room. You guys have like been keeping up with map randomizers. I've come out with Pokemon Emerald and Pokemon Platinum, and now we're coming out with Pokemon Fire Red. Unfortunately, we got to get a little serious here. There's a Heart Gold Soul Silver randomizer out there, and that is totally fine. That is a-okay. I don't own the idea, so it's like if that is created by another development team, and that is totally fine. But there's like a little there's not the best backstory behind that. One of the reasons why we've been taking so long between Platinum and Fire Red and Heart Gold and all these other ones is because we've actually been working on a bunch of quality of life features, like a better UI, and like if you randomize your game, you'll be able to print out like a cheat sheet. So like we've been working on
Really cool shit, by the way.
like a lot of
I
quality
didn't know that was coming. That's really cool.
life features, and we've also been able to print
Anyways.
out like a cheat sheet. So like we've been working on like a lot of quality of life features, and we've also been working on Fire Red, Leaf Green, Black and White 2, and we've also been working on Heart Gold Soul Silver. I'll just fully out and say it. I used to be on good terms with SmallAnt. While we were on good terms, I told him that I was planning on making a video, specifically a video on Heart Gold Soul Silver, because I thought it'd be really cool to do the two regions. And he was like, yeah, that is such a good idea.
I think this was back in October of last year after our Gen 3 races. I think it was in a call. I couldn't find the messages. They might be there. I might have scrolled past them, but it must have been in a call that I said this.
Unfortunately, what happened, he knows that like we're doing all of this. Despite that, went along and still did it. That's not the only thing too. It was created by a guy who worked. It was created by a guy. I don't know the name because he hasn't. He hasn't like said it too much on stream. I don't know. This guy came to SmallAnt and it was like, here I have this framework for Heart Gold Soul Silver. He didn't know that the map randomizer was like this stuff that we're doing was in development, which is a separate problem because I've had so many issues with SmallAnt not giving me credit for these map randomizers. All I ask is you can do it for free. You can stream whatever. You can blah blah blah. Just give me credit, and he hasn't.
And I haven't. Okay. I'm going to look at this. I haven't given him credit for the map randomizers. Just to be clear, Adrian, you're all good. You have done absolutely nothing wrong here. Everyone loves you, Adrian. So let's look. I have a list of every single map randomizer I've ever done. pointcrow map randomizer I've ever done. So the first two, obviously he got credit because we did it with him. The next one, I did the next stream, the one with A-Drive, I actually did 2 races, but it was 1 stream. I didn't know he wanted credit yet. Again, I said that was my fault. That was my bad. And then the Pulse Effects one was the one where that I made the command and forgot to put it in the title. Every single stream since then, rando command, map rando command, map rando command, map rando command, map rando command, and then we actually just put it on a timer so people didn't even need to use the command. I've done 10 pointcrow map randomizers, and every single one after I was made aware that he wanted credit, I've given him credit. So I don't know. I think he's I don't know. I don't think he deliberately is, misrepresenting it. Like I said, I think it is maybe a command isn't enough. I don't know. But there's clearly something.
Some for free. You can stream whatever. You can blah blah blah.
I feel like what I did was, I did a pretty good job of letting people know where to find it, and if anyone ever asked.
Just give me credit, and he hasn't.
So that was frustrating to hear, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to clarify here, because I did my best once I was made aware.
And some people think that like these map randomizers he's developed,
and that sucks. He 100% should get credit. He's paying people to do it.
So Adrian, I think it is, goes to SmallAnt saying, "Hey, I got."
All right, now this is an important. This is pointcrow is going to share his sort of series of events, and then I'll share what happened.
Like this Heart Gold Soul Silver. It's not like it doesn't work like as well, but like I have it. SmallAnt says, "Oh, hey, you can go talk to some other mod developers that could probably help you." Adrian's like, "Oh, hey, I'm just learning to do Pokemon coding. That'd be awesome if you could like help out. Like I'm curious, how'd you do the map randomizer? So @sign just obviously helps, like, because we want to create a great community fostering, you know, some ingenuity in the modding space for Pokemon. They turn around, make the map randomizer for Heart Gold Soul Silver, and then give it to SmallAnt.
Okay.
And SmallAnt, knowing full well that I have this in development, does the video anyways and gets it out earlier and with a less polished version, just so he can be first again, knowing also full well.
All right. He goes into another example after this, but I'm just gonna cover that first. So let's go through his story, right? Adrian. So this is his perspective on the story. He says, Adrian has come to me saying the map randomizer, you know, doesn't work well. You know, I tell Adrian to go talk to pointcrow's dev team for help. Adrian asks for help and gets help by the friendly devs, and they are very friendly. That's true. They're super nice, every one of them. And he finishes the map randomizer with their help and then gives it to me, effectively stealing his commission content just so I can be first. So that's how pointcrow presented it. I feel like that's a pretty accurate summary. That's not what happened at all. Yeah, that did not happen. There's like I can see how he pieced that together, but yeah, that's not what happened. So April 27th, I get an email from just some person I've never seen before. They said, I have a complete... That's not the story at all. Yeah, Adrian, and if you can confirm whether my side is correct or accurate, or correct me if you want, Adrian. You can be as active or not, but just know that you are not in the wrong in any way. You're super cool. Everyone's super happy with you. But yeah, emailed me, said, you know, they worked on the Pokemon mod. They have a working seed and stuff. I messaged them on Discord, and you know, they gave me a seed on April 27th. This is I think like 3 minutes after I'm like, hey, have you heard about pointcrow? Here's the devs that are working on the other one, and I point him in the direction of them. So I didn't have enough time to talk about them. So he sent me a working seed before they had a conversation. And then 5 days later, Adrian comes back and says, hey, I talked with the devs. I don't know what they talked about personally, but Adrian said they were very helpful, and then just publicly released it that day on May 2nd. So just a quick summary, just to clear some things up. I never commissioned Adrian. You know, it was just made for fun by Adrian without my involvement. I just got the email. And, you know, no work was stolen. It was a perfectly fine randomizer before talking to the other devs. I think the other devs helped, like, speed it up or something. I'm not exactly sure. But it said it helped, I guess. So, like, you know, the narrative that I got Adrian to give me it early so I could get out before pointcrow, it's just not right. That didn't happen. So here's what happened. I got a working randomizer on April 27th. I basically just @signed what they did because I was curious, but you didn't change the logic at all. All the stuff for public release was just patching stuff that @sign pointed you in the general direction of. Okay. All right. So yeah, they were just trying to help basically, and just didn't realize that it was, you know, and just to say, you know, I was pointing, yeah, I mean, that sounds great. You know, and no one ever, like, I don't think there was enough communication to realize what was going on here, because like it seemed like Adrian was just interested in the map randomizer and didn't like have one functional. I think maybe there was just a lack of information there, and it kind of wasn't great. But anyways, I got the working randomizer on April 27th. It was publicly released on May 2nd. And it was my birthday on May 3rd. And so, you know, at this point, you know, pointcrow and I are not talking. He hasn't messaged me. We're not really on talking terms. We're not on talking terms. It is publicly released. It's my birthday. Fuck it. I'm going to play it. It's my birthday. I want to do something fun. And so I played it on my birthday. What he said, where I'm going to snipe the video before him, that was May 3rd, which was 23 days ago now.
If you go to my YouTube channel, you'll see there is not a Heart Gold randomizer video on my channel. If the intention was to snipe it, I would have had that video out the day of, maybe next day if I was tired. My intention was not to snipe it. My intention was to do something fun, and so I did. You know, I had the opportunity to do it, and I figured, you know, why not take the opportunity? And yeah, and so I think that video is, I think, most likely coming on Monday, but that's besides the point. So I mean, plenty of time for other people to do a map randomizer. You know, almost a month. I'm waiting to upload the video. But yeah, then yeah, here's just, you know, the public release, just a screenshot, right? And here we go.
That we have issues of people thinking that this is his stuff, which this isn't the first time it's happened, but this is the first time that I'm telling you guys about something like this.
Oh yeah, I think, let's see, what was this? Yeah, right. Something about this is, you know, probably one of the questions is, why didn't you just tell him that you had a Heart Gold map randomizer? Why didn't you tell him you had a map randomizer? I did tell pointcrow in the past about a map randomizer. Back when he did the Emerald one, you know, when we were on good talking terms. You know, in October 18th of last year, someone made an Emerald randomizer and released it before him, and I let him know about it. I was like, hey, just a heads up, you know, someone's doing this. And so, you know, I did my best to let him know. But with the Heart Gold randomizer, you know, again, we weren't on talking terms. You know, it was already publicly released. It was my birthday. I said, fuck it, I'm just going to play it. Was it a little shitty? Yeah, it was. But I don't know. I was just frustrated. I just wanted to play it. I just wanted to have a good time. All right, that's the next one. Okay.
The Breath of the Wild randomizer video.
Now we're getting into the Breath of the Wild
I
randomizer
got
video.
telling you guys about something like this. The Breath of the Wild randomizer video that I got out, that had to be like a 2-3 day turnaround because we got wind that he ended up breaking my exclusivity clause, even though I paid $1,000 to not have anybody else do it, and then try to get his video out before mine. And so I'm trying my best out.
All right, so he left some key information out there. What did he say? He said he had a $1,000 exclusivity clause, and I broke his exclusivity clause to get it out before him. Let's look at this. So with that randomizer, the Breath of the Wild randomizer, December 15th was when it was uploaded. That's not his video, sorry. pointcrow's was uploaded December 16th. This is not my video. As it turns out, there was another streamer that had also paid $1,000, and they were uploading it on December 15th. And it wasn't an exclusivity clause. I think there must have been a miscommunication with the mod creator. It was more of a pay $1,000, you can play the mod early. And, you know, I saw this creator doing the mod, and that's what notified me to it. And so I ended up doing it. And, I mean, as you can see, Eric ended up uploading his 2 days before mine. And he said he was going to... I was trying to snipe his video. So here's what happened. I went to the mod creator, and he says, upload it on the 19th. And I say, that's probably not going to work. I was busy. I think it was around Christmas. It's December 19th. And I'm like, could I do the 18th? You know, I have stuff planned. And they're like, sure, you know, 18th. Upload it 18th at 3 p.m. I'm like, all right, I got you. I had no idea when Eric was uploading his video. I still, like, I don't know. I would assume it's either the 20th or later because I can't imagine the mod creator would want it on the 19th, 2 videos. But that wasn't my decision. I didn't choose which day to upload the video. I mean, I did, but, like, initially, like, the 19th, if I'm assuming that would have still been before Eric. But, I mean, he got it changed. So we got it out before me anyways. But, yeah, I wasn't, like... I wasn't thinking, oh man, this is going to come out before Eric. And also, like, even so, Like, that one came out even before that. So, I don't know. It's just, I'm not going out of my way to like, get a leg up, if that makes sense. Like, because, like I said, like, videos, if they're uploaded, like, one day before the other, no one gets, like, a big boost. It's not a big difference. Mine was uploaded last. I have the most amount of views. I have the most subs, obviously, but, you know. Bad example.
This is essentially what's happened. It is very unfortunate. I want to give you guys this as an explanation for what happened with Heart Gold Soul Silver, with the randomizer. Actually, probably going to be out next week. This is not Adrian's fault, by the way. I'm just explaining why it got out earlier than we were planning on it, because SmallAnt wanted to snipe that video.
I didn't want to snipe the video. I haven't even uploaded a video. I did a stream because it was my birthday. And after that, I was like, Pandora's box is open.
Another reason why, hey, I don't copy SmallAnt. I am original. He's fostering this community of in this thing. I've told him to stop before. This is only the latest in litany of things. But the one who's at fault here is SmallAnt. If SmallAnt just had a little bit of care for other creators. Like, we've already talked about all of this publicly. Oh, sorry, privately. Like, I've called him. I've you know, we've had extensive conversations, and yet he still continues to do this, which is why I'm mentioning this publicly. I wouldn't say this otherwise. I told him to message me after the subathon, and he...
Oh, yeah. This is another thing, also. I forgot about this. This is from 2020. Breath of the Wild without walking. Breath of the Wild Link can't walk. I did it first, but pointcrow got his edited faster. I'm not mad at him for that. He didn't try and snipe the video. We just uploaded them at our own pace. Right, I forgot to throw that in there. But anyways...
He has still yet to...
I've still yet to message him back. Okay. He said... What did he say? Let's go back one more time.
After the subathon, publicly, I wouldn't say this otherwise. I told him to message me after the subathon. Hey, I messaged him before the subathon. Anytime you're free to call. Yo, I won't be free until my subathon is over. So I can call after that. Not so you can call after that. So I can call after that. What? I was like, okay, sounds good. I've been sitting here for weeks. I'm like, oh, his subathon's over. He's relaxing. Okay, I don't want to bother him. You know, things are tense. And he's just been waiting for my call, I guess. I didn't know. And he has still yet to, I'll say it like this. Okay. He was getting flack, you know, some things about Subnautica and stuff.
No, I always get flack whenever you say this, and I did nothing before.
Subnautica because he did. And that was before the subathon.
Yes,
I was like, hey, I'm doing the subathon. Message me after the subathon, please. He has yet to do that because he stopped getting flack. He only cared about the stuff, you know, people getting mad at him, not that he actually cares about repairing whatever relationship we have. It's been...
I mean, if that was true, I would have messaged him, you know, every single time he said that. But it was only the time, you know, once he was like, hey, it's not getting better. And then I messaged him. You know, I didn't message him the first time, I don't think so.
3.5 weeks. Balls in your court, man. Be better.
Balls in my court, be better.
This is the latest in a long list of things that he's done to the channel, so...
Alright, I think I've covered the list of everything. That covers pretty much everything. You know, a few things. A few things that I definitely, that I noticed while I was scrolling through our messages that I need to apologize. Because there are some things that I did do wrong, 100%. There's some things that I didn't do wrong, but there's definitely some things that I did do wrong. So we're gonna scroll up a little bit. The freaking, where is it? Here. The 2 streams that I didn't give him credit, my bad. I should have checked 100%. That was my fault. I'm sorry. I think those, if the majority of people think that it's my map randomizer, I guess those streams were a pretty influential thing. And that probably, you know, it's got to be annoying as hell to see me get credit for shit like that for
you know, for that. It's annoying. Doesn't feel good. Another thing, we talked in the past. We actually talked about Pokemon when he was getting into Pokemon stuff. I was like, hey, you want to share our ideas so we don't step on each other's toes? And he was like, sounds like a good idea. I've actually done one of the challenges that he told me about last year, January 10th of 2021. I forgot. Pokemon, but PP loss is permanent. I actually did that challenge on stream. I completely forgot he told me. So that's completely my bad. I just yoinked that one. I forgot. So yeah, that sucks. And I am sorry about that. I will not be uploading a video of that one. Feel free to do it. Honestly, I think I was in a bad mood for that one anyways, so I wasn't going to upload it because it just wasn't good content for me. It was a fun challenge though. But I feel like this situation has been exacerbated by time and stacks of miscommunications. I think I've definitely done a few things wrong that, when you add them up all together, it doesn't feel good. And I think I misunderstood the effect that I was having on him. And, the fact that I didn't say anything publicly, I think he was expecting that. Something that I will do if you want, Eric, if you're watching this, DM me. If you want, I can take down every video that we're like competing. A lot of them do really well, but I will take them down if you want me to, just to have people stop seeing the competition stuff, because I know those do have a lot of views. I'm not, what Eric says I will do. I think there's only 4 or so videos on the channel. I will be unlisting them. So, for those of you that want to still watch it, that about it, they'll still be there, but no one can find them, basically. But that's up to Eric. I'll remove, basically, and same with the VODs channel. I think there's a bunch of VODs where we're competing. I can take any VODs where we're competing down there, just to try and help fix things so you don't have to experience this, because it's exhausting. It's been a lot of stress for me. It's probably way more stress for you, or you're the one getting all these comparisons. But sorry, I'm really tired. I really hope that that this can be better, and yeah, I think I'm trying to form an apology that is actually meaningful right now. I just don't want to misword it, and it's really hard to form thoughts when I haven't slept for 30 hours. I think just impulsively doing the map randomizer on my birthday, knowing that you were already developing it, it probably would have been, I think it was shitty of me knowing that you were developing it. I think I can admit that wasn't great. I can delay that video too if you need me to. I'd be fine with that. I don't want to step on your toes. It's been sorry, one sec. It's been a stressful, 7 months of this. Kind of, I feel like walking on eggshells, being, not sure what to do, and I feel like I kind of didn't do the right thing many steps of the way.
I think both of us had good intentions. And a lot of what you're feeling is I think is very valid. Having those feelings stew for so long, it's not it's definitely not a good feeling. So, sorry for putting you through this, man. I'm not trying to cry to garner sympathy. I'm just on low sleep. Okay. Yeah, I hope, I don't expect that we could patch things up after this. It's been 7 months, but I just, I hope that clears some things up. And, whatever happens, I understand. But I am, I'm sorry for making you feel this way, and, definitely wasn't my intention. I feel like a lot of the creators that I work with, I do my best to make sure that I do my best to, make sure it's a positive experience. And I think, for the last 7 months, our interactions have definitely not been positive. I hope we can go back to at least neutral. But, unfortunately, I have a meeting for my mortgage in like an hour, so I gotta go clean up for that. Got a call right before stream, so I'm gonna clean up and probably do that. Sorry for turning off my thing, but yeah, that's a public response. I hope I didn't misspeak. I'm gonna get a good sleep tonight, and I will see you all tomorrow for some Breath of the Wild. And again, I think, no one ever had any bad intentions here. Yeah. I'm gonna call it a day. I'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you for stopping by and listening.